The defense and goaltending continues to shine for the Jets as Kyle Connor makes his return. Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Jets Setting. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Scott Billeck and Ted Wyman of the Winnipeg Sun to talk all things Jets. And guys, now 33 straight games allowing 3 goals or less for the Jets and 13 straight allowing 2 or less. Simple question, Scott, why has the team defense been so good this year?
Yeah, the structure just doesn't break down, Rob. There's a couple times, and even in last night's game, where maybe a guy gets lost or a guy misses a check or whatever, and then it just the 3 guys that are left or the 4 guys that are left, depending where they are, they just turn into a box or a triangle, and they keep the puck out of the middle. And a large part of the reason why the Jets have been so poor in recent years is they gave up so many chances in the slot, what we call high danger shots, or just high grade A opportunities. That's so far down this season, and it's hard to beat Connor Hellebuyck any other way. And so when you have that combined with the impressive goaltending of Connor Hellebuyck this season, it's just been I don't want to call it easy because it's not easy to do that, but the Jets have made it look easy. And even in the games that they've lost this season, if you go back one game, they lose, they get shut out 2-0. But that's the only goals they allow, and it's not like they get blown out. So it's just very much an attention to detail thing. It's very much a structure thing, and the Jets are falling into that structure more often than not. And I'd suggest way more often than not. And that's the one thing that's really kept them close in games that maybe they shouldn't be close in. And it's certainly helped them stay ahead in games that they feel like that they should have won. And then the last night was a good example of that, where they may not have played maybe their best game, but it didn't really matter. And in the end, they eke out a 4-2 victory over the New York Islanders, and because they keep to that structure.
Ted, what has stood out to you about what the Jets have been able to do in their own end this year?
Well, it's interesting because they're coming off a game where they didn't actually play that well in their own end. They beat the New York Islanders 4-2 on Tuesday night, but that was a game where they weren't quite as good as they have been all season. A lot sloppier. They gave up something like 32 shots, which that's one of the things that's been really noticeable all season, is that they don't give up those shots. And you see guys coming back. I was closely watching Adam Lowry yesterday. He's the Jets checking center right now. He's playing up in the lineup because Mark Scheifele is out with a lower body injury. And the way Adam Lowry back checks, and he's a leader, this is the captain of the team now, and the way he comes back and back checks has got to be inspiring to the rest of his teammates. And that's something that I find to be a really important part of what they are doing in their own end, because it is a full team defense thing. Connor Hellebuyck has a great chance of winning the Vezina Trophy this year, and I don't think he's had to be as good as he was last year or the year before that, because he's not facing the volume of shots. He's not facing the volume of high danger shots that he was in the past. He's been great, and he deserves it if he gets it. But it's that team structure, like Scott said. It's that hard work from the forwards coming back. And obviously, you cannot deny that the group of defense the Jets have this year has meshed really well, led by Josh Morrissey, who's a big minute guy and plays great every night. But the other guys in that group, guys like Neil Pionk and Brendan Dillon, Dylan DeMello, and then the third pairing of Nate Schmidt and Dylan Sandberg have just been very consistent. And that really plays into success.
So as you said, Ted, the numbers for Connor Hellebuyck this year are spectacular. He's having one of the best seasons of his career, and it's always tough to weigh how much of it is the team defense, how much of it is the goaltender. But when it comes to the goaltending tandem this year for Winnipeg, what has stood out to you about watching those guys?
Pure consistency. I mean, you don't go 33 games giving up 3 goals or less, 13 games in a row giving up 2 goals or less, unless your goaltending is playing very consistent. They don't give up the bad goals. Truth be told, Hellebuyck did give up a bad one against the Islanders, but he doesn't do it very often. And Laurent Brossoit has been very good as his backup. Not great at the very beginning of the season, but he's been excellent since then. They've got the kind of tandem that can really work in terms of going deep. We know Laurent Brossoit played in the playoffs last year for the Vegas Golden Knights, helped them win a Stanley Cup. That's been a big addition for the Jets to solidify that spot behind Hellebuyck. And he's just had I think just purely consistent season from a player who's already been really great throughout his career. And here he is starting the beginning of a new contract with the Jets. It's a lot of positivity when it surrounds the Jets goaltending situation.
Scott, when it comes to Hellebuyck, clearly he's been one of the best goaltenders in the league for a very long time. But are you seeing anything different from him this year that has led to some of the better numbers that we're seeing?
No, nothing different. I think he's bombarded a little less than he used to be. He's obviously seeing fewer shots, which is, I think, a good thing for both the team and for him. At the same time, I still think he's probably playing the best hockey of his career, some of the best hockey of his career. I think the analytics support that. You look at his goals saved above expected numbers. He leads the league in all situations. He leads the league at 5-on-5. So I kind of take, I think to me, it's like, is he not making those big saves anymore? Is he not? I just, I would say yes, he is. He continues to make the big saves when this team needs him. I think that just this team has finally started to bail him out a little bit more than it's just him. It used to be so one-sided on him bailing this team out. The pressure is not on him as much anymore this year to bail the team out and steal wins for this game or for this team. And I think that's the big difference this year, is that the reliance on him maybe not be as much, but he's still as good as he's ever been, and that's only helping this team. Like, the team in front of him has gotten better. And the one thing I think that a lot of people wondered around here was, like, what could this Jets team do if they actually put a good team in front of Connor Hellebuyck? And so now that they've done so, I think we're seeing kind of exactly what this team can look like when you put an all-world goaltender behind a team that is dedicated, committed, bought into a structure, to a system. And so that's where we're at now watching this team, is that we're seeing two kind of very important facets of the game coming together to win a lot of hockey games. And yeah, I think Connor Hellebuyck has been integral in that. I mean, I think if you took him out and put an average goaltender in there, this team wouldn't be in first place. I think the reason why they are in first place is because Connor Hellebuyck is the best goalie in the world right now. And he's playing in front of an offense and a team defense, at least, that's giving him a chance every night to be his best, and that's giving the team a chance every night to be their best.
Lastly, Ted, we saw Kyle Connor make his return to the lineup, scoring an empty netter, returning from that knee injury. It's been over a month, I guess, since we've last seen him, close to a month. How do you think he looked in his first game back?
Well, first off, he came back pretty quickly. The estimate could have had him out quite a bit longer. Obviously, did a good job with the training staff to get back on the ice. And I thought he looked good. He moved the puck very well. He made some nice plays to get chances to score. He played an integral role in the first goal. He didn't get an assist on it because it was tipped a couple of times. But he also, I thought, did a really good job of winning a puck to get that empty net goal at the end. It's a big addition for the Jets, and it's just interesting to see how well Kyle Connor might fit into what this team structure has become, because there's such a good defensive team. That's certainly not his strong suit. He's a goal scorer. Amazingly, he still leads the team in goal scoring, even though he missed as much time as he did. But he has to be part of what this team has already been, and it looked to me last night that he is fitting in nicely to that. And the Jets continue to play very good hockey no matter what their lineup looks like. Mark Scheifele's out right now. They had Gabe Vilardi out for a while. They've had Connor out for a while. Those are arguably three of their three top line guys, that's for sure. And they've really managed to adjust at all times, which suggests to me that there's a lot of really good depth there. So they can weather a lot of storms, even if they don't have those guys. But obviously, you're a better team if you have them all. It could happen on Saturday night or Saturday afternoon when Scheifele comes back. They could have that top line reunited. And certainly, I think fans are eager to see how it will look when they have a really good scoring line available to them.
Last word to you, Scott. What do you think of Kyle Connor?
Yeah, he looked like he didn't skip a beat. I mean, that's the thing. You could tell 3 weeks into this when he got onto the ice that he was already itching to go, and it was a little. I guess the skating was a little lighter when it started then, but you could see he was already ready to go. He was cutting. He was doing a lot of the little footwork things that he's known for, and then one of the biggest things he's known for is his speed, other than the shot. And his offensive stuff. His speed is there. And last night it looked like it was all there. It was all together. There's no fear. He was going into the boards. He was going to the front of the net hard. He wasn't trying to, I don't know if he was trying. There wasn't no kind of subconscious hesitancy from him at all. And he looked like he fit right back in. And, I think the only thing, and Ted talked about it, the only thing this team's kind of missing right now is Mark Scheifele. And if he's to play Saturday, I mean, this team's back to kind of full strength for the most part. And, that can only be a good thing for this team because they were very good without him, obviously. And I think that's a testament, as Ted said, to the way that this team plays and knows how to play and the structure that they play within, and we talked about earlier. But yeah, I mean, obviously having that scoring back in the lineup, having Mark Scheifele back in the lineup, the top line center, that can only be helpful here. And, the Jets are only going to be playing, I think they play 4 games now in their next 21 days. So they don't have a lot of hockey to play. So it's a good chance to get healthy and a good chance, for this team to kind of, reset's not the right word, let's say, because they don't need to really reset, but it's kind of just a chance to maybe just kind of refocus and kind of get back to, being more fresh, I guess, let's say. But yeah, Kyle Connor had a heck of a game last night. I thought he was really good and getting that empty net goal. He probably deserved one earlier in the game before that. But yeah, he's back on top, 18 goals now in the season and doesn't look like he's kind of missed any time really.
Yeah, nice to see him back in the lineup. That is for sure. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Scott Billeck and Ted Wyman, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.